Hey guys, Hook to Clash here, and today I'm presenting to you guys a new series, one of the ones that I kind of hinted at doing in my channel updates video. It feels like an eternity ago, but I think it was just on Monday. Anyways, this is one of the new series I'm going to be bringing to you guys, and I'm going to be calling it Abnormal Armies. So I'm sure you're wondering, what's Abnormal Armies about? Well, once a week, I'm going to pick one day of that week where I use just the same army in all 8 of my attacks to see how strong it is. Now, about this army, this is not going to be a common Legends army, because when you guys think of Legends armies, or at least when I do, I think Yeti Smash, Hybrid, E-Drags, and Zap Lalo. Those are kind of the 4 main Legends attacks that I see at the moment. So I'm just going to try some new strategies. Today we're starting pretty tame on the abnormal, on the abnormal sort of scale. We're starting pretty low on it with Electrone. Obviously, this is it's not that common, honestly, but it's not an uncommon strategy that you see in War. However, you hardly see it in Legends, and that's why I kind of wanted to start with it today. But hopefully, in future weeks, we can see some different strategies. And if you'd like to see a particular strategy in future weeks, drop it in the comments down below and give me a reason why you would like to see that strategy. And maybe, just maybe, you'll see it. Anyway, so today I've done 7 of the attacks in Legends, and we're just going to go through a few of them now. So this attack here was one of my Electrone hits here. Now, as you can see on this base, guys, it has 3 multis, which is obviously not desirable. And if we can get the Epic Pen up here, sorry guys, I forgot to get this up. As you can see, this is obviously not desirable for an Electrone Lalo. Yes, it means that E-Drag's going to get more value, guys, because obviously Infernos that are multi don't do as much as a single. However, the multi will destroy all of the balloons that you clone out of your Stone Slammer or your Blimp, and obviously that's far from desirable. So my plan on this base, I didn't actually have a good plan that I liked, but my original plan was to kind of send the King and Queen into this channel that we can see here, and kind of get the multi and then Blimp from somewhere. But when that wall break failed, I changed it up on the spot. So I used the Queen, and her main goal was this sweeper here, because it's kind of covering a lot of the base. Then I was going to use the King on this side, and I'm just going to try and force him into this channel here, and that's why we're coming from this way. Because as you can see here, he will beat the wall in a couple of seconds. Bam, he does. And he goes in quite nicely. And basically, I'm going to use my Blimp here. You can use the Stone Slammer or the Blimp, but I believe I used the Blimp here. And basically what we're going to do, and we're going to slow it up for you all to see what happens. We're going to pop it right on top of this multi-Inferno, and with the Rage and the Poison on the Queen, we should be able to get good value, you would think. But as we can see, we're going to find out how much damage there are on a lot of Legends bases, guys. And this is one of the downfalls of the typical sort of Electrone. Because for those who aren't that experienced with Electrone, the typical old school style of Electrone is you start with the Blimp, as I did there, and then you wait for a bit, let the Electrone do its work, then you start with your Lalo. But as we're going to find as we go through more of the attacks today, that a lot of the attacks are better off doing your Electrone mid-flight. And why is this? Because on a lot of bases, you have real high DPS areas, and if you're going, and this is where the value is essentially, and you really want to Electrone in that area. Sorry guys, we'll speed up the Lalo again. And you really want to Electrone in that area. However, it's very hard to Electrone into an area where there's so much damage, because the Electrone's just going to get no value. You find Electrone works really well on spread out war bases, because you can surgically pick a part of the base to insert your, whether it be your Slammer or your Blimp into. Anyways, this ended up working out because I tried something different here, guys. I didn't see a lot of value with the RC, and there wasn't a lot of ground bows. So I bought my RC with the flight here, and as you can see, she's going to clean up the rest. But honestly, guys, I think this attack was more of a showcase of how strong A, the RC can be, and B, how strong Lalo is. As you can see, we didn't get a lot from the actual Electrone part of the attack here. So I would have to grade this attack pretty poorly here. I mean, it does get the triple, but I don't think it was that strong in this attack. I don't think we saw the best of the Electrone. So let's see in some of the other attacks I do if we can see a better showcase of how strong Electrone can possibly be. So we'll move into the next attack here. As you can see, guys, we ended with a few triples on the day. Now, I'm going to pause this here, guys. When I landed into this base, I realized this is one of the shortcomings of the Electrone. So obviously with the Electrone, as you can see, you have the blimp here, and this will have an E-drag and 3 balloons in it. And essentially what you're going to use this for, you're going to clone the balloons in that to protect the E-drag and generally rage that as well. And you're going to use that either at the start of your attack to take out a portion of the base that's got high value, or you're going to do it in like midway through the attack to do kind of a similar thing. However, on bases where you've got the Town Hall in the core like this, and you've got absolutely no Lalo pathing to it, you have to save this blimp for the Town Hall. So it makes it impossible to clone on top of the Town Hall, because there's no point, guys, right? Because when I send the blimp in here, I actually get lucky in this attack, but we're going to talk generally. I send the blimp in here, right? And I open it here, and if I cloned on loons on top of the Town Hall and my Warden's not in range, those clone loons are just going to die. So you may as well expend either a Rage or a Freeze on the Town Hall and just take it out and save your clone to use somewhere else with your Lalo. Obviously, then it's not as much an Electrone, but that's what you have to do on these bases. So that's one of the shortfalls of this attack. So we'll get into the attack here. This Sui is actually quite lucky. We'll 2 times through it because we're not as interested in the Sui with these attacks because we want to see more of the Electrone than, say, the Sui. Obviously, the Sui skills are quite handy in this attack because you can kind of transfer them to zap Lalos and the like, but we're not really interested in that today. That's not the main focus of this video. So we'll 2 times through it so you can keep up with it. As you can see, my RC is going to get really nice value. I ran into so many multis today, guys, which is going to be even more impressive at the end when you see the sort of trophy count we're going to be looking at for today. This queen is the luckiest thing I've seen, guys. I can't believe this queen went in. Watch this. She goes in for this wall break. 3, 2, 1. Look, I have no idea why she went back for that, guys. That was just crazy to me, but we're pretty grateful for it. She gets the eagle, and as soon as she gets the eagle, we start the Lalo here. As you can see, because he's got no defenses in like this layer of buildings here, guys, it makes it really easy to target specific defenses with your balloons, which helps with your Lalo timing. So we get down the a haste and a freeze really early, and that just deals with that multi, because multis do so much damage to your balloons, guys. But as you see, we're going to get a bit lucky here, because those balloons on the left-hand side cleared so quickly. A bunch of loons go into the Town Hall in the middle, so I just popped the Warden ability once the blimp opens up, and that was crucial here because it kept the E-drag and the loons out of there alive. As you can see on the bottom of the base, I used the clone on the loons that weren't in the core of the base, and I kind of overwhelmed the back end of this, guys, and no kidding, I kind of wrecked this, honestly, and I didn't expect to wreck this. So yes, it is definitely a shortcoming of this attack, that you can't, if there's like a core Town Hall like this, you can't really do the classic Electrone sort of opener, but like then it just turns kind of into a Sui Lalo, and Sui Lalo is kind of strong. And obviously today's about Electrone, but what you want with your strategies is a bit of flexibility dependent on the base. You don't want one base style stopping the attack entirely. So the fact that this this strategy can deal with the bases with the core Town Halls is a big plus for it, in my opinion. And the last attack we're going to show you guys isn't actually going to be a triple. I know, right? Actually, I think this is the wrong one. Yeah, sorry guys, wrong base. We got to back out. I'll get it up for you here. Yep. So as you can see here, guys, we're going to pause this one again and break down why this base is really bad for Electrone. So as you can see, we have this sweep. The first thing you want to look at for Electrone is sweepers, right? Because these sweepers will be you can't do an Electrone into a sweeper, because the sweeper will destroy your E-drag and you'll find you don't get much value. So first things first, look at it's sort of that sort of range. Look how much these sweepers are covering, guys. And on top of that, it's going to be really hard to kill one with the Sui. This one in the core here is basically impossible to kill with any Sui. And this one on the left-hand side, the only way you can kill it with a Sui is if you Sui in like here, but then you're kind of getting close to this CC range. And then the other main issue with this base here, and why we're going to struggle a lot with it, is look at these 2 scatters in the core of the base. These scatters, A, are really close to each other, and B, are really deep in the base, which means A, we're not going to be able to sui it with our heroes, which is obviously desirable, and B, if we say try an Electrone into, so what we end up doing in this attack is come Electroning into this scatter here. If we try an Electrone into this scatter, the other scatter on the right hand side will be backing up. Like they'll be they'll be like defending each other. They'll be helping each other out. And when you have two scatters shooting down on an Electrone, it's so bad. The loons disappear so quickly, and then the E-Drag is suddenly under all the fire, and an E-Drag, when it's like being inserted into the core of the base, isn't going to do a whole lot of damage, and it dies pretty quickly. And then the Lalo ends up being really ugly. Plus, the other thing, we'll play the attack whilst it's going, because as you can see, we're still a bit of planning time during the live attack. We can't sui from this top side because of this CC, and we don't want to deal with the CC, which forces us to have only a few different spots to sui. We could sui in here, we could sui in here, or we could sui in here. Now, I didn't want to sui into either of these corners because this area is unguarded by the sweeper. You kind of want to sui either want to sui the sweeper or the areas where the sweeper is covering, so that you could send the blimp into the areas where the sweeper isn't covering. I hope that makes sense. For instance, if I did sui, say, let's be really ambitious and say I suied all that, then I'd either have to Electrone into here if I'm making most of the pathing, or here, and both of them are straight into sweepers, and like I said before, that's a no-go. So we decide to sui from the bottom of the base, guys. So as you can see here, sorry, I should have just removed all of that at once. We're going to use the king and queen at the bottom, but we really don't get that much value from this sui, guys. We'll speed it up 4 times, because yet again, today's not about the suis. But as you can see, this queen walks, but it's okay, because I was honestly planning on saving my RC for this anyway. Sorry, we're going to go half times. Look how quickly this Electrone dies. So it gets about as far as I planned it to. We get the clone down nice and early. The queen's there. The balloons all clump up. And that's my biggest problem with these clone spells, guys. I swear in the past the balloons didn't used to clump up as much as they do. But I reckon they did something with the clone spell mechanic. And balloons clump up a whole lot more out of the clone spell than they used to. And as you can see here, guys, we didn't get anything. We literally got nothing. We didn't even get the enemy queen out of this Electrone. And look how much is left on the base. Plus, we're at 50%. So we've already activated the Town Hall. So this Town Hall is going to be an absolute pain during this entire attack. And then look at this, guys. A double drag CC comes out. It's like gone from bad to worst here. So we're going to 2 times through this, because this is me just Asian walling a Lalo. Well, that's what it's called anyway. With a bunch of haste, just straight into the Town Hall, and just getting as much percent as possible. It was nice that we were able to get to 75% given how bad this plan went, but you do see a lot of these style bases in Legends, and that's what I'm worried about, honestly, more than anything. I'm not worried about the bases with the core Town Halls, but these southern teasers with 2 very core scatter shots, and the sweepers not set up to both face the same direction, are going to be very difficult for Electrone, so that's kind of one downside of it. Anyways, we've got one attack left today, guys, so I'm going to jump into a live attack for you all right now. Okay, guys, so we've got one more attack left today. Let's see if we can make it count with a nice live attack. Hopefully it's a nice base, guys. Hopefully it's a nice base. Let's see what we got here. This is not a nice base, guys. This has got one of the core Town Halls. Obviously don't like that, but let's see. So we can sui the 2... So the 2 heroes, obviously the Royal Champ and the Queen and the Eagle, we can get pretty easily here, actually. So maybe we can make something of this. Maybe we can make something of this. Okay, I've got an idea. So I'm going to use my King to sui for the Royal Champ. Queen's going to... actually, no, we're going to change this up yet again. So RC, Ice Golem, Headhunter should clear all of that good stuff. We'll get a Wizard in behind, because hopefully this Wizard makes somewhat of a funnel. And then we'll pop the RC ability nice and early there. Hopefully she gets that. Yep, she does. Nice. And then we're going to sui in here, guys. Going to wall break basically exactly on that Ice Golem. Get the Queen down, and I'm 90% confident this Queen goes in. If she didn't go in, that would be crazy at this point. Perfect headhunter for the enemy queen. Pop king ability, nice and early. And look, this, the king and queen here should clear so much of the base. Now I have two options. One, I can use the E-Drag and basically the E-Drag clone to create a funnel and then Lilo through the middle, or I can Lilo around and E-Drag the core. But given how much damage seems to be in the core, we're actually going to do the former plan, guys. So I'm just going to do I'm going to do the Electron straight in here, guys. We'll see how this goes. I'm going to try and save my save the clone though. Not the clone, the rage. I would love to keep the rage. And look at this, guys. This is what you call an OP Lalo deployment, if you've ever seen one. This is what Lalo's about, guys. It's about spamming your loons in a line. And there's a nice Warden ability. Oh, come on, get the Town Hall before the Warden ability wears out. What the hell? That took so long, guys. We got a freeze there. Oh, is that going to cost us the triple here? I thought I nailed that Warden ability, I'm not going to lie. Oh my god, guys. This attack absolutely fell apart. But it actually looks like there's no defensive CC. It looks like there's no defensive CC, and if that more so than anything is... Oh my god, guys. Look at this Ice Golem. He is dedicated. But yeah, the lack of a CC is probably going to contribute to this triple more than anything. That's a shame. Although if you've watched my videos before, guys, you know how poorly I rate this base. So tripling it doesn't mean anything. I think in future videos we'll try and be higher, because at the start of the day today we weren't too high. Anyways, there's the live attack for you. Okay, guys, so obviously that attack got the triple. Bit of an easy base, obviously, but you can only triple what's being dealt in front of you. So we're going to go to a quick recap of the day, guys. As you can see, we were able to get 279, which is obviously nice. But as you can see, with this plus 216, we honestly started the day at the low 5k, and it's pretty late in the season. So we're going to take it with a grain of salt, obviously. But 5 triples on the day is pretty good. So what I'm going to start doing with this, guys, I'm going to get this up on your screen here. We're going to start recording each week when we do one of these. We're going to record the total number of cups, where we started on the day, because I think that matters for the, you know, quality of bases, the total triples, and then I'm going to give my rating at the end. And hopefully after like 10-15 weeks, we can sort of get an idea of where a bunch of different strategies are at. So today we were able to get 279, which I think is a really good return. However, we were at 5,000 cups, so you got to take it with a grain of salt. We did have 5 triples though. So what would I rate Electron, guys? I'm going to give it, so out of 10, with 10 being like all of those Legends armies we talked about before, I'm going to give this a 7. I think it was, oh, sorry. I'm going to give this a 7 today. I think Electron is a solid army, but I think it's very hard to use in terms of when you're doing Zap Lalo, right? There's only like 1 or 2 places you're going to zap. So it's really obvious. But when you're doing Electron, there's so many places you can Electron, and it makes planning in the 30 seconds really difficult, and thus the execution is so much more difficult with this attack. So the sort of thing that you'd have to practice a lot to get good at, and I think that's one of the downfalls of it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. Something a little bit different. Let me know yet again down in the comments, A, if you enjoyed today and would like to see more similar videos, and B, what armies you would like to see me try and your justification for why I should try them. Anyways, I hope you all have a nice day, and hopefully I see you soon.